السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. بسم الله توكلنا على الله. بدأنا المجلس. In this lesson, inshallah, we will discuss idgham or merging. Okay, we have to know what is the articulation point of nun sakina to discuss idgham, and how many pathway you hear when you're pronouncing nun sakina. As you see in the picture, the articulation point of nun sakina, we studied before, it's the tip of the tongue touching the gums of the two top front teeth, okay? And how many pathway we see in the picture? We have two pathways. So the makhraj of the nun sakina has two pathway. The first one is the articulation point in the mouth by the tongue, and the second pathway is the nasal cavity, okay? That's called ghunna. So I have two things with a nun sakina. The first one is the articulation points, and I will draw it as A, inshallah. And the second is nasalization, which is in. Now here, idgham is insertion to the first letter, which is nun sakina, in the second letter, which is yarmalun, which is in a word called yarmalun. So the second letters will be ya or ra or mim, lam, waw or nun. The first letter is nun sakina and the second letter is yarmalun. Now here in sakina, nun sakina, it's important to know that it has two things, important things. The first one is the articulation point in the mouth, and the second thing is nasalization from nasal cavity, which is ghunna. Now you know idgham is insertion, okay? Insert something to another thing, okay? If I insert the articulation point of nun sakina and insert also the ghunna in the second letter, which followed by nun, which nun is followed by it. This is called complete merging or idgham kamil, and never pronounce even nasalization or articulation point of nun, never pronounce, as in lam and ra. For example, before that we have to classify idgham according to the pronouncing nun sakina and tanween. It has different three ways. The first one with lam and ra. So the nun sakina will pronounce it when it's followed with lam ra, it's by a different way. When it's followed by mim and nun, it will be in different way. And also when in waw and ya, it will be a different way. Three different ways. Here, how to pronounce nun sakina followed by nun and mim, lam and ra. In lam and ra, I will delete the nun sakina and tanween because it's incomplete, because it's a complete merging. So there is no nun sakina or tanween, because the articulation point of nun sakina or nun sakina of tanween, it will be disappeared in the complete merging. Okay, also the ghunna. Here, how to pronounce nun sakina followed by nun and mim? Here we will pronounce the articulation point of nun and mim that belong to yarmalun, while the articulation point and the nasalizations of the nun sakina will be disappeared at all, because it's a complete merging. So the ghunna that we heard here, okay, it's not belong to nun sakina, it's belong to nun or mim that's followed precedes or the nun sakina followed by. Okay, so it's the second letter. So the second letter here, the ghunna belong to the second letter here. Okay, here is difference. Here nun sakina is followed by waw and ya, but it's incomplete merging. Okay, so the articulation point of the nun sakina will disappear, while the ghunna of the nun sakina will still with us. Okay, so when it's followed nun sakina followed by waw and ya, we will transfer from the mim, for example, from the we will cross the articulation point of the nun sakina while we have ghunna. So we will use the articulation point of waw and ya, enter the waw and ya, and with the ghunna. Let's read idgham here from the book, and let's start to answer the last questions.